All right, good afternoon, Mayor, Town Council. My name is Kyle Batista, the financial analyst for the town. A couple of months ago at the May 19th council meeting, Town Council approved adoption of the town's biannual budget that covers two fiscal years, fiscal year 2026-27 and fiscal year 2027-28. As of July 1st, we are now in the new fiscal year 2026-27, and with that we have the new 26-27 budget on our website. So the purpose of this presentation is just to show how to go to our website and access the budget. So first you'll open your browser and you'll go to the townofyountville.com, and then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see those 6 buttons there, and then Hillary is hovering over the budget button. So just select that, and then it will open up the table of contents. So this is the biannual budget for fiscal years 26, 27, 27, 28. So there is information. There's historical information going back a couple of fiscal years. There is fiscal year 25, 26, and then there are the 2 future years. And the way that this is broken up, if you see section 1, this is the budget introduction and overview, which shows kind of an overview of the budget. If you want to see some information about the general fund overview, town fiscal policies, so it's a little bit more informational. And then if you scroll down a little bit, starting in section 2, there are individual department stories, is what we call them, which are pretty much pages if you had a physical budget. That if you're curious about any individual department, such as the IT department, the town manager department, if you scroll down a little bit, we'll take a look at a Parks and Recs department, if that's okay, Hillary. Each of these blue links will open up a new page. If you want to open up, let's do the Community Events Department, 015413. So here's an example of what each of the pages look like. It'll give a department overview. So for this is the Parks and Rec Community Events page. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see all of the events that we're planning. And then we talk about the biannual budget goals. If you scroll up a little bit, Hillary, sorry. There's the budget insights. That section kind of highlights what changed from the prior fiscal year to the current fiscal year. And then if you scroll down to the department expenditures table, so if you see along the headers there, you see there's a couple years of historical. There's 3 years of historical now. We're still finalizing 25-26. It's a few months until we close out our fiscal year. And then if you use the sidebar, Hillary, to scroll a little bit to the side, at the bottom of the table, you'll see, yeah, exactly. It goes, and then scroll up a little bit. So it'll show the last 2 columns are the 26-27 adopted. So that's the current fiscal year that we're in now. And then the last column is the 27-28. So it splits it up by personnel, and then scroll down a little bit. You see the supplies and services, the total expenditures, and this is all just for this one community events department. And then if you hit back on the browser, it'll go back to the table of contents. And you can just navigate throughout the whole budget this way. It's like a physical copy. It's just there's a different link for each department. And then you can see, starting in section 3, there's the enterprise funds, our water and wastewater utility funds, and then section 5, special revenue funds, and so on. So all of those links are just like pages that we looked at for the Parks and Rec. And I did also want to highlight section 9 there, the capital projects funds. If you open up the last link, the Town of Yountville 5-year CIP, this forecasts over the next 5 years, including the current fiscal year 26-27, all of our planned capital improvements projects. You split it by civic facilities and Parks and Recs projects, major maintenance projects, things like that. So split up by different types of projects. And then if you go back one page, please. And if you want to look at, and then go back to section 9 with the capital projects. The first link, capital improvements. So now we're looking at the current fiscal year list of projects, and it gives a little bit of detail for the project of the current fiscal year that we're in. So if you're ever curious what projects we're all working on, mostly public works, then you can just go through this list and you can see, and you can give us a call if you have any questions. But that is pretty much it. It's a pretty simple web page with a lot of information. If you're looking for anything specific, you can always call the town, 707-944-8851. You can walk through the doors. You can chat with us. You can ask for me, Kyle Batista, or you can ask for Celia, the Administrative Services Director. and we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
So can you just pull up, if somebody just wanted to see, the simplest overview, what are our, general expenses in terms of dollars and revenue, where would they go?
So under Section 1, if you go down a little bit, there's General Fund Overview. It's probably about 15 or so down, yeah. So this here, this has a lot of information. It is specific to the general fund, so it doesn't include enterprise funds, doesn't include, our capital projects funds, 50 or 81 or 82. But if you scroll down a little bit, so you can see that the pie chart there of our general fund revenues that we're expecting for fiscal year 26-27. You can see about 57% of it is the TOT. And then there's the sales tax that makes up 11.5%. Property tax makes up about 19%. So this is the revenue snapshot. And if you scroll down a little more, this is just a history of our 3 primary revenues, which property tax, sales tax, and TOT. This talks about our fund balance allocation. After you start with the beginning fiscal year, what our fund balance is, you add all the expected revenues, take out all the expected expenditures, and then you have a dollar amount left over. This is how it is split out. And then keep scrolling down. There'll be some expenditures here too. And then so a similar pie chart here to the revenue, but our expenditures, public safety, public works, planning and building, et cetera. So this is the best place to look at our Fund 1 general fund.
All right, so if I was also, just last question, something was happening in the town and we were spending, for various reasons, a lot more money than we had really budgeted for in a certain area. Say, we had a major problem someplace. Where would that information show up? Is this updated or?
Good question. So this document here is more like a static. You can picture as if you're printing out a static document. But we do have on the finance page, we do have the transparency portal, which that is if you go under finance and then the adopted biennial budget, the third link down. And then if in the middle, there's that Town of Yountville transparency portal. It's in italics. This is where it kind of shows a little bit more of the live data. So I would say if you're curious about live numbers and how actual to budgets are looking, this is the best place to go. Or every month when we publish our monthly financial reports, they're consent calendar items that they come out every month or so. That also, it compares budget to actual. And then if you have any more specific questions than that, you can feel free to give us a call.
Okay, thank you very much. And my favorite is always watching the TOT reports come out. They come out every month. It's greater than 70%. So if you only have one thing you want to look at, that's where I tip you off. Go look at that. So anyway, any questions from the council before I go to public? We're just going to have this is a good time to ask. Kyle is here. He'll tell you anything you want to know about the budget. So, council, any questions first? No? Yep. Question?
So, Kyle, we do get the TOT as council members. Where would you find that on the web if you wanted to see that monthly report that shows the occupancy and the rates and all that?
Definitely. I think Hillary read your mind there. She was already going there. So if you go to departments and then finance,
okay,
and then the financial reports, and then click on transient occupancy tax information, and then that link in the middle shows the most recent that was reported. Because of the timing, I always like to specify, it says collections through May 2026, but that was reported July 4th, so that is the most recent report. And then if you click on that, go ahead and open it up. It'll show you, this is kind of the quick summary that gives most of the information you would want in one snapshot. And then there's 15 pages of detail with a lot of historic information, monthly information. So I think right now we're at about 92% of our collected expected revenue, and that's, we're still waiting for June to finalize. So we'll see how the year ends, but it's looking pretty good.
It's looking pretty good, yeah.
Looking pretty good.
And you do an outstanding job on this, so no question. And one of my struggles is there's so much information, and we've talked a little bit in the past, and I've raised this about, I don't really like this expression, but a dashboard. Mm-hmm. Is that something that we could still think about? The trick being, what are the key indicators you want to look at, and then trying to get them into a meaningful format. But
Definitely,
it might
yep.
be helpful to have, and even then it could let people know where to go to read more. But people, we're all in this mode of very short attention spans.
Right. Understood. Yeah, there is internal conversation about that. And we have talked about how most of the information that we think the public is interested in would either be in our monthly financial report or this TOT report. So we've talked a little bit about how maybe we can, revamp those a little bit, and we kind of are making some changes to those, and we've already made some changes to add little summary tables on the monthly financial report. But obviously, more ideas the better. So let us know.
Or even have a tab somewhere easy, that you could just click on when you first go into the budget or the finances. Anyway, thank you. You do an outstanding job on monitoring all this, so thank you.
Do you have a monthly financial report that you could pull up easily, just to kind of, because this is what we do put on our consent calendars just about once a month.
Right, so if you go to departments and then go to...
Show people what that looks like and where it can be found, both online and in our consent calendars.
Go to the financial reports there again, and then scroll down to monthly financial reports. And then you'll see the most recent that have been approved through the consent calendar. So if you go ahead and open up the May 2026. So these are what the consent calendar items look like. We'll be presenting the preliminary June report at the next council meeting. So this is the most recent one. So you'll see this is the new table that I was thinking about. We added maybe 3 or 4 months ago or so. It's a snapshot of where we are with the revenues. And then we have a similar table on the second page for the expenditures. So this is where, if you're looking for any snapshot type information in terms of budget to actual, I do think this is the best place to go.
To speak to where one would find them within the agenda packet, that can be found on the homepage as well. If you visit the View Agendas and Minutes, and within this page you can see archived meetings here. I believe the last one was probably brought forth on June 2nd. And here, that date may be wrong. Kyle, can you?
June 2nd would have been too early. Sorry,
Okay.
It would have been the second meeting in June.
Let's go with the regular meeting here. And those reports are found within the consent calendar here. Item 8B, receive and file the May 2026 monthly financial report.
Yeah, and it is great to see where it is on the meetings here. I do think because we don't know exactly when they're
Right.
reported. If you just go to I think it is best to just go to the finance page because it'll show the most recent one here. So that may be the best way to find it.
Okay, great. All right, public, this is your time to come up and ask Kyle or staff any question you've been wondering about the budget, how to find something, how something's updated, who to call. Nobody wants to come up? Okay. That's going to be, we have a staff who would like to make a comment.
Yes,
Happens
just-
to be a very important person with
Just
our
one
finance.
additional comment that I know Kyle was going to talk about. For people who do want a more analog mechanism, there is a paper copy of the budget, a physical copy, at both Town Hall and at the library. And speaking to the snapshot view, there is, if you look at the wall over there, there is the budget in brief, which is quick charts of general fund and utility fund revenues and expenditures for a more condensed view.
All right, thank you. And just kind of wrap, I think Yountville has been very lucky for a long time. It's one thing we are is pretty physically conservative around here. Our TOT and sales tax is doing well and continues to do well. So I think that one thing that I'm always kind of proud to tell people that we don't have some of the problems that I hear other people have. So I'm very happy about that. So